Alright, continuing with Chapter 3, we asked the question, will we ever be done with this pyramid? And the answer is yes. But in the meantime, we've got to beat this battle that we started in the last clip, but we had to run away from. We're on a fresh mind now, so we should be able to... It made me so irritated last time. So Phoebe's confused. Shoots herself, of course, but I should be able to get through this alright. Use my new sword. And Phoebe's blind? What blinded her? She was confused. And that was the only attack. Ah, well. Moving on. We see this room we saw earlier, and we can see why that bridge is at such an odd angle. It's like coming up underneath, but you can't really see it straight, you know. You can kind of see here, it looks really weird when you try to interact with the, with the other floor. So we head into this room. There's a little snake path there in the middle. It looks like the boss up there, but it can't be him because we still don't have the mirror. Remember that lady in the town said the boss keeps himself invisible, and there's a magic mirror that'll help us to see him. We'll save it, and we'll see what happens when I go up and talk to him. Huh? Okay, I'm fighting him. That's weird. I thought we're not supposed to be able to see him because he can turn himself invisible, and on top of that, I still haven't found the mirror to make all the other enemies appear. They're all still invisible. Why can I still see him? That's just... wow. I don't even know how to comment on this one. But getting into the battle, he's weak against fire. Finally, an ice enemy in this entire blasted level that's actually weak against fire. It's about time, right? Alright, Phoebe died. That could be bad for me. Let's see if there's any way I don't have a life spell. Let's see if that's what the refreshers are for. Maybe it's like a life potion in this game. No? Well, that didn't do anything. Maybe it's like a status element. Fatal is just like confusion or whatever. Let's try heal potion. No, that didn't work. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, well, that's game over for me. So, I have no life spell, no ability to resurrect my partner. I guess I just can't let her die at all. So I gotta be a little bit more careful this time around. Start right off using these spells. They seem to work pretty good. You see, Benjamin goes first at the beginning of this battle, then the Ice Golem, then Phoebe. That seems to be the order I've noticed, because I've watched this a few times now. Phoebe goes first this time around, but you'll notice in the last clip that when Phoebe died, the Ice Golem went first. Alright, there Benjamin goes first again. What is the order? It doesn't appear to be based on anything, because I'm using kind of the same moves, and it just changes every turn. Let's see, Benjamin's low on life, so I need to heal him, right? But the Ice Golem goes first and attacks Ben and kills him. See, what is the order? What is the... It would help if I knew what the order was so I could plan for it. It's kind of like the Grandia series. If you ever play it, you get to see what order everything's going to happen in, and you can plan for it, even if it's an actual live time. It's kind of clever, but... I don't know. Just keep everybody alive and healthy. This game is hurting my head. And this is only the second battle of the clip. But, you see, legitimately, now I'm starting to run out of magic. I harp about this in some of the previous clips, but we never really get to see an example. I'm starting to run kind of shy on magic points. It's because they're actually kind of rare in this game. See, Ben's out of black magic altogether, so he's going to have to attack, and Phoebe's out of the wizard magic. She's down to the fire, just the regular black magic. But I got him. And I only get 246 experience. Did you see that? Go back if you missed that. That's half of what I get in a normal battle. That's just cheap. You know? But it makes the crystal appear, so that was the legitimate boss. So I'm still confused about that. Does this crystal seem smaller than the first one? I don't know. It's been a while since I saw it, but it just looks that way. I'll go back to Aquaria and see if the ice melted. Well, we can go together. I mean, this is a one-way in, one-way out dungeon. Right by? No by. What? Why is everyone leaving me once I'm in the deepest part of the final dungeon of every level? Why can't they accompany me out? Especially here where I can't see the stinking enemies. I don't have a mirror. I can't see them. So why is she leaving me by myself? These teammates just don't care about me at all. Anyways, jumping ahead, you saw how I got in, so just head out. The ice melted pretty dang fast, I have to admit. There's no water damage anywhere, even though the whole continent was ice earlier. The city looks perfectly fine. Flowers are already growing. They're not waterlogged. There's the old woman from the inn earlier. Thanks to you, I'm well. Well, too bad she's not in Forestra. She'd be a little girl again. Yeah, speak of that. We'll get to that in just a second. First, I'm going to see if Phoebe has any good legitimate reason for leaving me. Stupid woman. Have you met Grandpa? He's still under the house. Ice is thawed, and the moron is still hanging out under the house. Maybe he just likes it down there, and we should just leave him alone. Anyways, let's get into some of the physics involved here. The old woman, if she went to Forestra, would she become a little girl again? How does that work? Maybe she should just move there, right? And how did the crystals work anyhow? It's just like flipping a switch. With the crystal water restored, everything's back to normal instantaneously. In fact, Phoebe acts like it was just a second ago she just left my party. In an environmental sense, wouldn't that be like extremely hazardous for an ecosystem to change instantaneously like that? I mean, that's like the kind of things global warming is always talking about, right? Anyways, these floating islands make no sense. And why the heck did Spencer dig this extremely huge tunnel? I mean, look at this. It looks like it's a basement that just goes on for miles and miles. You can see the water in the background looks like it's a huge, hundreds of feet in the air. This doesn't make any sense. Did Spencer really dig all this out, or was this erosion from the millions of gallons of water that thawed out? The ice is melted. How did that happen? Not only is he hiding down here, he's a moron. Phoebe and I restored the crystal of water's light. How does this light thing work? It's just the crystal shining light makes all these problems? The shield has found his old owner. He's so dumbstruck with being frozen and frostbite, he's talking in non sequitur now. You can tell I'm getting a little irritated with this game, right? Gee, where have I heard that? Only an hour ago back in Forestra. He was doing some research. The lake dried up and his ship ended on a rock ledge. That must have been some lake, and you're going to see it later. It's like an ocean that must have dried up. Apparently, it became the ice of this entire continent that we just thawed out, So he gives us a key. We're going to use it to get this non-sequitur shield he keeps talking about. By the way, Fireberg's been having some strange earthquakes. Nice segue. Now we're going to talk about Fireberg. What about Fireberg? There's an underground river? No, go back to Fireberg. Why did you even bring that up? That is the poorest script writing I've ever heard. Oh, Captain Mac, yada yada, we need to rescue him. By the way, Fireberg's having some earthquakes. And that's all we hear. It's like an economist talking about the economy, the poor economy, and then he's talking about how we need to do this and do that. By the way, I like Big Macs. I mean, it just come out of nowhere. It's supposed to be the game's way of saying, hey, guess where you're going next? It's Fireberg. But why? Why just one sentence? Why couldn't he expound? You know what? Forget it. We're going to finish Chapter 3 in the next clip.